In 2004, Dove launched a worldwide advertising campaign titled The Campaign for Real Beauty. The brand created a new way to address their consumers, which aimed to get real by focusing on redefining beauty and changing the way their consumers perceived their flaws. Following a worldwide survey, Dove found that only 4% of women described themselves as beautiful. The brand used these statistics to form the basis of their new campaign, trying a completely new approach based on customer experiences in order to set the brand apart from other major market leaders. The campaign was based around asking the consumers questions such as fat or fit, wrinkled or wonderful. The latest leg of the campaign was based on a similar concept, Choose Beautiful, which again asked consumers to categorise themselves as either beautiful or average. The campaign ran across 5 major cities, including San Francisco, Shanghai, Delhi, London and Sao Paulo. Above 2 doors was a sign, Beautiful, and on the other, Average. Consumers then had to choose what door they walked through.
We had an option of 2 pathways to walk, and they led to 2 doorways. It was a bit confronting, actually, to be honest, to see these big signs and feeling like you had to choose and be self-conscious of how you perceive yourself and perhaps if it lines up with how the rest of the world perceives you.
I went through the average door.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't even hesitate.
So what made the Choose Beautiful campaign new and refreshing in the beauty industry? The message itself. The angle in which Dove chose to rebrand the company was based on a change in the brand's message to consumers, which was simple. Rather than market products based on appealing to vanity, the brand aimed to encourage consumers to embrace their flaws. In turn, this rebrand affected the brand's positioning. Ideally, the brand now stood out from a saturated market, if at the very least the PR campaign aimed to get consumers talking. However, Dove aimed to do more. The campaign represented change. The campaign played heavily on the consumer's emotion by way of empowerment. Dove was no longer a company driven by profits and sales, rather the brand now aimed to come across as socially conscious and a catalyst for change. It was with this in mind that Dove aimed to redefine its brand personality. In turn, consumer motivation was affected. The reasons for which a consumer would choose Dove brand over market competitors was now influenced by more factors other than price and quality. Dove aimed to market not a specific product, rather the brand as a whole. Interactive marketing formed the core of the campaign. The PR stunt that was run across 5 different countries asked consumers to walk through either the average door or the beautiful door. Not only was this a clever form of marketing, but it demanded consumers to actively take part in the campaign. The campaign was then filmed and streamed on social media, TV, and formed the basis of the Choose Beautiful website. The website also required consumer interaction, which required the consumer again to choose beautiful or choose average, and then more importantly, share this via Facebook and other social media. Once again, the brand used consumer interaction as both a form of publicity and as a tool for something seemingly more meaningful, redefining beauty. By directly asking consumers to categorise themselves, it aimed to provoke thought, and from a moral standpoint aimed to change the consumer's self-concept, ideally striking an even wider conversation and thus acting as the catalyst for change. However, from a marketing standpoint, any conversation, whether good or bad, was publicity for the brand, and if at the very least made the brand current and relevant.
As Sophie has explained, with the Choose Beautiful stunt, Dove has been able to further the value creation through differentiation and sustain a competitive advantage for Dove by the empowerment of the target market, which is overwhelmingly women, and the opportunity and motivation to engage in a wider discussion of social and industry issues relating to beauty and self-worth of women through customer interaction. Dove further identified the opportunity that the rising number of females in the workforce and the corresponding rise in their disposable income is created. Dove also identified a socio-cultural external environment opportunity not currently exploited. Society had progressed from the one-dimensional definition of beauty that the media has pushed in the last half-century, and the main market, women, were questioning and rebelling against social constraints and traditional marketing. You're not beautiful enough and you need our help. Consumer activist groups were multiplying and consumers were becoming more socially conscious. Why does beauty have to mean white, young, tall, small-breasted and no bigger than a size 6? This social and industry-driven myth has further expanded the number of females rebelling against both the fashion and the beauty product industry and their marketing. By expanding the definition of beauty to be more inclusive, Dove is in fact expanding the size of the potential market for their products, as well as reaching out. Rather than creating a myth, Dove has drawn attention to their efforts to actually be the driver of the destruction of the myth of beauty being restricted to such a small band of women. This has naturally upset some of the stakeholders, and the expected and received pushback. This non-utilised gap in the marketing of beauty products is what Dove is exploiting. The expected controversy that the stunt created was viewed by some as counterproductive. It did, however, by courting this controversy, generate a huge amount of content on both traditional media outlets and social media. A free multiplier effect, so to speak. It helped to both expand and to extend the debate. This gave the overall campaign a welcome boost and refreshment to consumers, as well as providing a platform via the website and the other social media avenues to re-engage with women individually, between each other, and with the Dove brand. It enhanced the points of difference that Dove had created. Because of this, the stunt has given new life to an extremely successful campaign that was at risk of becoming stale. By restroking and ratcheting up the controversies surrounding the conversation at the heart of Dove's campaign of redefining beauty, the stunt has given Dove a huge amount of free exposure. And even if some disagreed with the message, and many did, in fact, some were violently opposed and even called for a boycott of Dove products, it was a success. To paraphrase that pioneer of self-promotion, Oscar Wilde, the only thing worse than being spoken about badly is to be not spoken about at all. Dove has used this promotional stunt to make sure this does not happen. I'm sure Oscar would have approved, and quite possibly even been a customer himself, if Dove had been around back then. Who knows? To conclude, although some in the media and public spaces have expressed a problem with this stunt, the reality is that this innovative twist on the usual promotional model has been a success and achieved all the objectives that Dove set out to achieve. Thank you for your time.
It was quite a triumphant feeling. It was like telling the world, I think I'm beautiful.
I just wish more young women realized it.
要是再给我一次机会走那扇门的话，我觉得我应该会选很美的扇门。